You hear the first pop. It is loud. You feel surprise. The kernel explodes. You see the pot on the stove. It is hot. Oil moves inside. You smell the oil. It is warm. The kernel has water inside. The water heats up. It turns into steam. You hear the steam. The hard shell holds the steam. The steam builds up. The shell gets tight. It bursts open. Each kernel is different. Some have more water. Some have thicker shells. They pop at different times. You hear the pops. They are random. You hear one, then another, then many. The pops get louder. They get faster. You hear a big sound. It is many kernels. The sound is fun. You feel happy. You want to eat the popcorn. You see the pot now. It is full. The popcorn is white. It is fluffy. You smell the popcorn. It is salty. You want to taste it. The pops get slower. They get softer. You hear a few more. Then none. The pot is quiet. The popcorn is done. You feel hungry. You see the popcorn now. It is in a bowl. It is big and white. You hear the sound of eating. It is happy. You feel full. The room is quiet. The pot is cool. The oil is still. You feel sleepy. The popcorn is gone. You hear nothing. The darkness is quiet. The silence is deep. You rest now. When you rest, your body repairs itself because it needs time to fix the muscles. If you don't rest, you feel tired and your body gets weak. The popcorn you ate gives you energy because it has carbohydrates, which are like fuel for your body. When you eat carbohydrates, they turn into energy and you feel more awake. The oil in the pot was hot because it was heated by the stove, and that's why it made the kernels pop. If the oil was cold, the kernels wouldn't pop because they need heat to explode. The steam inside the kernel builds up pressure, and when it's too much, the kernel bursts, making a loud sound. You hear this sound when the kernel pops, and it's like music to your ears. The popcorn is salty because salt was added to the oil, and when the kernels popped, they got covered in salt. If you add too much salt, the popcorn tastes bad, but if you add just the right amount, it's delicious. When you eat the popcorn, the salt dissolves in your mouth, and you feel the flavor. The flavor is like a mix of sweet and salty, and it's what makes popcorn so tasty. The pot is quiet now because all the kernels have popped, and there's no more steam building up. If there were still kernels in the pot, you would hear more pops, but now it's silent. The silence is nice because it means you can relax and your ears don't have to work hard to hear anything. When it's quiet, you can think clearly and your mind feels calm. You feel full because you ate a lot of popcorn and your stomach is happy. If you didn't eat enough, you would still feel hungry, but now you're satisfied. The feeling of being full is like wearing a warm blanket. It makes you feel cozy and comfortable. When you're full, you don't want to eat anymore because your body has enough energy and you can focus on other things. The room is dark because the lights are turned off and the only sound is your breathing. If you listen carefully, you can hear your heart beating, and it's like a drum in your chest. The sound of your heartbeat is like a lullaby, and it helps you fall asleep. When you're asleep, your body repairs itself, and you feel fresh in the morning. The morning is like a new beginning, and you feel happy to start a new day. The popcorn is gone, but you can make more because you have the ingredients and you know the recipe. If you want to make more, you can follow the same steps, and you'll have delicious popcorn again. When you make popcorn, you feel happy because it's like a little ritual, and you enjoy the process. The process of making popcorn is like a game, and you have to wait for the kernels to pop, and it's exciting. The waiting is like a game, because you don't know when the kernels will pop, and it's fun to listen to the sounds. If you're patient, you'll be rewarded with delicious popcorn, and you'll feel happy. The happiness is like a feeling of accomplishment, and you feel proud of yourself. When you're proud of yourself, you feel confident, and you can do anything. The confidence is like a key, and it unlocks your potential, and you can achieve great things. As the last remnants of popcorn are savored, the mind begins to wander, and the process of making popcorn is viewed in a different light, as a metaphor for the passage of time, where each kernel represents a moment, waiting to be transformed by the heat of experience. The popping of the kernels can be seen as a manifestation of the concept of emergence, where individual components, in this case, the kernels, come together to create a complex system, the popcorn, which exhibits properties that cannot be predicted by analyzing its individual parts. This phenomenon is reminiscent of the idea of synergy, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And it is this synergy that makes the process of making popcorn so fascinating. The patience required to wait for the kernels to pop can be seen as a form of meditation, where the mind is focused on the present moment, and the anticipation of the popping kernels becomes a form of mindfulness, allowing the individual to appreciate the beauty of the simple things in life. The fact that the kernels are passive, waiting to be transformed by the heat, highlights the idea that sometimes change is necessary for growth, and that this change can be facilitated by external factors, such as the heat, which can be seen as a catalyst for transformation. The relative simplicity of the popcorn-making process belies the complexity of the underlying physics, which involves the manipulation of thermodynamic principles, such as the conversion of energy from one form to another, and the concept of entropy, which governs the behavior of the kernels as they transform from a solid to a gas. The historical significance of popcorn, which dates back to ancient civilizations, such as the Aztecs and the Incas, who used it as a form of currency and as a snack, highlights the idea that even the simplest of foods can have a rich and complex history, and that the process of making popcorn is not just a mundane activity, but a connection to the past. The perception of popcorn as a snack has evolved over time, influenced by cultural and social factors, such as the rise of the movie industry, which popularized the concept of eating popcorn as a form of entertainment, and the development of new technologies, such as the microwave, which has made it possible to make popcorn quickly and easily. The adaptation of popcorn to different cultural contexts, such as the use of different seasonings and toppings, has resulted in a diverse range of flavors and textures, which reflect the creativity and ingenuity of human beings, and highlights the idea that even the simplest of foods can be transformed into something complex and beautiful. As the last crumbs of popcorn are swept away, the mind is left to ponder the fleeting nature of pleasure and the impermanence of all things, including the moments of joy and satisfaction that are derived from the simple act of making and eating popcorn. The frequency of these moments and the way they are perceived and experienced is a function of the human brain, which is capable of processing complex sensory information and of creating meaningful connections between different experiences, such as the taste, smell, and sound of popcorn, which are all intertwined to create a rich and complex sensory experience. The evolution of the human brain, which has allowed us to appreciate the complexity and beauty of the world around us, is a testament to the power of adaptation and the ability of human beings to transform and evolve in response to their environment. As the silence deepens and the darkness closes in, the mind is left to contemplate the mystery of existence and the place of human beings in the universe, and to wonder about the nature of reality and the human experience. As the reverberations of the popcorn-making process fade into the background, the mind begins to grapple with the ontological implications of this seemingly mundane activity, prompting an examination of the complex interplay between the human experience, the natural world, and the emergent properties that arise from their intersection. The dialectical relationship between the kernel, the heat, and the resulting popcorn serves as a metaphor for the fundamental dynamics of existence, wherein the tensions between opposing forces give rise to novel and unforeseen consequences, thereby underscoring the inherent complexity and unpredictability of the world around us. This, in turn, raises questions about the nature of consciousness and its role in shaping our perception of reality, particularly with regards to the way in which our experiences, including those as mundane as making popcorn, are filtered through the lens of our individual and collective epistemological frameworks. The hermeneutic circle of understanding, wherein our preconceptions and biases inform our interpretations, which in turn reinforce or challenge those same preconceptions, is exemplified in the way we approach the simple act of making popcorn, imbuing it with meanings that transcend its literal significance, and revealing the intricate web of associations and connotations that underlie our everyday experiences. As we delve deeper into the labyrinthine corridors of human consciousness, we begin to confront the paradox of the human condition, wherein our quest for meaning and understanding is simultaneously driven and hindered by our own cognitive limitations, prompting us to ponder the extent to which our perceptions of the world are shaped by the very same cognitive biases and heuristics that enable us to navigate its complexities. The existential implications of this paradox are far-reaching, inviting us to consider the possibility that our experiences, including those that seem most mundane and ordinary, may be imbued with a profound and mysterious significance that lies beyond the reach of our immediate comprehension, and that the search for meaning and understanding may ultimately be a quest without a terminus, a journey into the depths of the unknown that is at once exhilarating and terrifying. And so, as the darkness closes in and the silence deepens, we are left to wonder, in the stillness of the night, what lies at the heart of the human experience, and whether the secrets of existence are hidden in the simplest of things, waiting to be uncovered, or whether they remain forever shrouded in an impenetrable veil of mystery, leaving us with only the faint whisper of a question that slowly dissolves into the silence, like a whispered secret lost in the void.